Hello people on TikTok, how are you all doing today? Something that popped up on my social media feed yesterday that I thought I would make a video about. I know it's not in Australia, it's a state over in the United States of America, but I'll get forward on what they have done. Texas lawmakers consider measures prohibiting SNAP benefits by using it to purchase junk food. As much as we all know that all those things are not good for us, I honestly think it is a violation of what the United States stands for because they call themselves the land of the free. If they start dictating what people can and can't eat, then it's not a land of the free. And I know it says people on SNAP benefits, but I still think if you're an adult and you're living alone, it should be your choice what you eat or not eat. I'll move my head out the way so I can tell you what I commented. And that's the way I feel about it. I've personally never been to Texas. I've never even been to the United States, or at least not yet, but I have heard that Texas is a pretty backward country with pretty ridiculous laws, like they'll lock someone up for saying the word fuck. The reason I don't agree with this, and I know people think it's very strange, because I know a lot of people would agree with this, but the reason I don't agree with this is it's not because they care about their health. It's not because they care about them. It's that they want to control the population, and that was what was guaranteed when Trump got elected. Like, he doesn't want a democratic country. He wants to be a dictator. And another thing, if people are worried about cancer, and this is what I find very weird, if people are that worried about cancer and all those chronic illnesses that they think that these foods and drinks cause, then why the fuck are they using a touch phone or a iPad or anything? Because you do know every single person on this planet walks around holding a phone to their face 24/7 now. So why the fuck are they using smartphones now if they're worried about cancer? I know I shouldn't really be worrying about what another country is doing, but eventually everything that America does, Australia, New Zealand, the UK and all the other Western countries follow, because if America jumps, then we jump too, and eventually they'll start doing it here. I'm all for maybe restricting underage people from buying things like energy drinks and that, but if you're an adult and you work a long shift or you don't drink coffee, I don't think anyone or any government should stop people from being allowed to enjoy their energy drink in the morning. I'm sure there's a lot of people on Facebook and on TikTok who are watching this video right now who probably enjoy an energy drink in the morning too. And I don't think it should be up to any government to take that away from them, especially if they're an adult and especially if they live alone and they're not married. And also, energy drinks also have good benefits. Obviously, if you drink too many of them, then you will end up having a heart attack or liver failure or what have you. But if you drink one before, say, you're working out the gym or you got a long shift at work, they're good at helping you stay awake. They're good at keeping you motivated. They're good at keeping you focused and all those things. The bad thing about it is it's got a lot of caffeine. Some have a lot of sugar in them, but so does everything else. So it should not be up to anyone to take that away from us. Also, if they're saying the reason why they push this is because they want to tackle the obesity problem, well, we all know that before social media and before all these smartphones were invented, a lot of people would have consumed this stuff. Like at the moment, I've only got a picture of all the soft drinks, but I'm talking about the biscuits, the cookies, the party pies, the frozen pizzas, the chicken, all the hot dogs and the sausages and all those things, and what haven't I mentioned? The Doritos, the M&Ms, the chocolates, all the lollies, you name it, the Tim Tams. A lot of people ate those things before social media was invented, and they weren't a problem then, or at least not unless you overindulged in it. I honestly think the reason why a government has decided to push this law is not because of doctors, not because of health professionals, not because of health authorities, but because of people on social media and their radical beliefs, and that's prompt them to have to do it. Because we all know that everybody probably consumes at least one or of those things that I've mentioned, or at least one of the things that are listed up the top here. Another reason why I disagree with this is because this is what people refuse to understand, they don't want to get, is that there are people who haven't got a partner, haven't got a family, and are living alone. And obviously, society wouldn't give a fuck if someone's single or they can't find a partner. But then they suddenly give a fuck about what they do or don't eat. If they choose to live on junk food, as people call it, or drink too much alcohol, or smoke cigarettes, or drink all this stuff here, then suddenly society give a fuck about them. It's really weird. Is it because although they don't give a fuck about how lonely they were, they give a fuck about them having to pay for their medical bill? Well, obviously, we probably do kind of owe it to those people because we were the ones that left them in the dark, and I know some of the people who are watching my video right now would be one of those people. Also, I don't believe in taking away people's choices if they want to make an adult decision, whether it be drinking, smoking, or living on this stuff or what have you. It should be your choice because let's be real, people get chronic illnesses anyway. People get cancer, heart attacks, and all those other 50,000 chronic illnesses we hear about anyway. So I don't see the point in why we should start dictating people's food choices. And for those who whinge about, oh, our taxpayers go to people in the hospital, well, then our taxpayers go to people who are in hospital because they chose to be a dickhead beyond the reel and hit a fucking pole and break their legs, or they chose to do a stupid stunt at a skate park and broke their back. We're paying tax money for that as well, so we've basically got all the right to whinge about people doing stupid stunts that cause their injuries as well. If they're going to complain about paying for us if we get sick and what might have caused our sicknesses. And I'm also glad I'm not living in the United States because I don't think it's the free country it's said to be anymore. I don't think it's the land of free will. I reckon it's heading towards a dictatorship because what could normally start off as something like this will eventually alter in them taking away many other things like social media platforms, smartphones, iPads, and then free speech and freedom of expression. And then before you know it, it's the United Communist States, not the United States anymore, and not the land of the free anymore.